I'm Kristen Denny-Chambers, clarinetist, composer, and founder of Clarinet Playground. This is video number 16 out of 40, going through all of the etudes in Finger Fitness Études Book 2 with some tips and tricks as you get started with the music. This one is for spring break. Spring Break is dedicated to Paula Corley. She is the education advisor for Buffet Crampon North America. She has 33 plus years of teaching experience from middle school to university level. Most recently, Paula served as the clarinet instructor at Texas Lutheran University, where she hosted clariNETWORKS, a very popular annual event for clarinetists of all ages and band directors. She is also a chamber music judge for Music for All's National Chamber Music Festival and served as the Pedagogy Chair for the International Clarinet Association from 2018 to 2020. Originally from Mississippi, Paula grew up without access to clarinet lessons, which sparked a lifelong interest in research for developing players. Most know her as the mayor of clarinetcity, a teaching website for all ages and stages of clarinet playing. That's clarinetcity.com. Lots of great resources there. A new series of her arrangements for clarinet and piano can also be found at Hal Leonard. In honor of Paula's passion for developing players and her book called The Break, I decided to dedicate Spring Break to her. It's in C major, it has some lovely break crossings, really good for developing players. Let's take a look at the music now. At the bottom of each page in this book, you'll find one or two practice tips. For Spring Break, we have observe 16th note rests as lifts without taking a break or stopping the air, and then also continue the crescendi through the rests. When you see the indication of RHD, that means right hand down, and we will go over that here in a minute. At the top of each page, you'll find two finger drills, especially for this one. These are incredibly critical for you to go over and make sure you can play them very well. This is the first point in the book where the finger drill is crossing registers or crossing the break. So in the first drill, we play from G to B, and I have that indication for right hand down. That means that your right hand fingers can all be down, including the pinky. I like to play G to B with my right side pinky, but you could also do left side only or both pinkies. And so when you have your right hand down and you're going B to G, this is what the move would look like if you do pinky, pinky, B. If you do just left B, you can anchor that left pinky down the whole time. Or if you do right B, it can be anchored down here on the right hand, which is my preference. My right hand is my dominant hand, and that leaves my top hand free to do the work up here. So then you would be here, B, G, B, G, B. The second drill is G to C. Very similar. You can also have your right hand pinky down for C, and you're going G, C, G, C, G, C. Now for playing these drills, often we need to play the upper note first, and that establishes the airspeed and the kind of back pressure you're going to get when you're crossing into that second register. So I like to hold out the note that's higher for a minute and then play high, low, high to make sure that that connection is really good. So I'll do high, low, high for both of these and give you an idea what I'm talking about there. The style and character of this piece, it's a waltz. It's simple and it should be carefree and fun. For this one, I have relaxed with refinement in one. The opening motive has lots of character to it with the shape, the tenutos, and that little lift on the 16th note rest. So I talked about that before. So we just want to kind of lift and suspend. Don't necessarily stop the air. We don't even need to really stop the tongue on the reed. It's just kind of a lift and then you continue your air. With the tenuto and the lift in that phrase, it could be very easy to allow the first note of measure 2 to end up being the peak of that phrase, but work really hard to make that shape go over to the first note of beat 3. When I think about the word refinement in regards to a waltz, I think about it coming from this idea of really good control and the understanding of the dance characteristics of an actual waltz. If you can just kind of feel that feeling of dancing and floating in the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 emphasis, it kind of gives you an idea of when you can push, when you can pull. And if you listen to some really famous waltzes, I think that will really help get the character in your ear. Let's take a look at rhythm now. The opening has 8th notes, 16th notes, ties, and dotted rhythms, so there is a little bit going on in there that we need to count carefully. Play the isolated 16th notes late, almost like a grace note, and that helps with the character. You'll also see constant 16th notes along with 8th note plus 16ths and then 16ths plus 8ths. So if we look at measure 59, 67, and 53, these examples down here below, you'll see the variety that you'll get. So 59, just those constant 16th notes, and then 67, the 8th followed by the 16th notes, and then 53, 54, you're going to see in 53 the constant 16ths, and then 54, the 2 16ths and the 8th note. Now, if we take a look at some areas for some special focus, anytime you have running 16th notes, spend some time there, and especially when you have staccato first, like in measure 69. So we'll look at 9 and 69. The 16th notes at the very end of the etude, they have much larger leaps, plus this molto ritardando that's leading towards this nice held fermata, and then we get a cute little ending, and you'll hear that ending a little bit later. Now we'll look at the places where we need to cross the break or connect the registers from the low register to that middle register. The first appearance is in measure 11, a simple move from G to C. You can have your right hand down on the G to help that transition. And then in measure 17 and measure 27 and in measure 33, we cross over with 8th note rhythms. So the rhythms are still fairly simple as we connect those registers. Then as we move on, we start to cross over with 16th note figures. So let's look at the top 3 first. Measure 33 is the B section of the etude where we shift into A minor, and we're playing that waltz theme going up in A minor. So we start on A. You can have your right hand down on the A as well as you move up. And then in 59, we move a little bit more across the register, and same thing with 69. One more thing to point out are the appearance of pedal tones. So pedal tones are repeated notes that appear in between moving notes. So if we look at measure 17, the open G is the pedal tone that we just keep coming back to. So you could play that where you take the pedal tones out, and that kind of makes things a little bit easier, especially in measure 53 and then down the bottom example. You take those open G pedals out, and then you just really are focusing on the skeleton structure of the tune, which is really the main theme at that point. So let's look at 17 first, and I'll leave the open Gs out. And then put them back in. And then 53 without the pedal tones and then with them. And now down at 73, same idea. And now for some final thoughts on this etude. Looks can be very deceiving with this one. Yes, we're in C major and it's a simple waltz, but it does take work to make this actually sound easy. So excellent refinement with connecting your registers is the main technical focus, and you want to spend some time playing the drills and any other register shifts as high, low, high to get your airspeed strong and consistent. You can also use your right hand down wherever it makes sense and is technically feasible. And be sure to listen to lots of famous waltzes for inspiration and to help you with your overall approach to the style. To listen to a beautiful recording of this etude and all other etudes from this book, head over to my website, clarinetplayground.com. Trevor Stewart has recorded all 40 etudes beautifully, and they are available for purchase there on my website. Feel free to join us in the Clarinet Playground group on Facebook where we play and post for each other. And head over to my website at clarinetplayground.com for more fun music and books. Thank you so much. I gotta start that again.